Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most. Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit ICBL.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options.
And your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares, paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up. Tired of waiting for a ride? Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares, paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit ICBL.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares, paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit ICBL.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares, paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit ICBL.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit icbl.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit icbl.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit icbl.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit icbl.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit icbl.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit ICBL.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares, paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit ICBL.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy. ICBL, always there when you need us most.
Tired of waiting for a ride? Say hello to Pickup Barbados, the modern taxi experience. All it takes is a few taps on your phone and your ride is on the way.
Pickup Barbados is a lifesaver. I can get where I need to go in no time.
Experience hassle-free travel with standardized fares, paid with cash or credit card. No more surprises, just smooth, reliable rides. Download Pickup Barbados from the App Store or Google Play today and get ready to ride in style. What are you waiting for? It's time to pick up.
Do you need the best coverage on the road for your new ride? Visit ICBL.com and get up to 10 months interest-free payment options. Yep, it's that easy.
But she gave me pain, now my whole body feeling better than ever. She gave me one injection in my midsection, I didn't have to pay. Then she gave me something and then the swallow fever gone right away. One injection in my midsection, I didn't have to pay. Then she gave me something and then the swallow fever gone right away. When you're coming back, Santa, when you're coming to give me a medicine.
Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you better.
When you're coming back, Santa, when you're coming to give me a medicine.
Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you better. I'm your doctor. I'm your doctor.
She took my head. She took my day. She took my head. She took my day. She took.
I'm your doctor. I'm your
I
doctor.
said, doctor, please come back quick because I can't bear it no longer.
Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you better.
Only you could ease some palpitating and cool down the pressure.
Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you
She said,
better.
how you expect to feel better when you in such a hurry? I got two minds to stop the treatment, give you ache in your body. You, when you're coming back, Santa, when you're coming to give me medicine.
Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you better. Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you better. I'm your doctor. I'm your doctor.
She took my head. She took my day. She took my head. She took my day. She took.
I'm your doctor. I'm your
She said,
doctor.
bye for now, but I have to fulfill another appointment. All you need is rest, and in no time at all you conquer the ailment. She said, take the medicine twice a day, that is the dose I should get. I follow instruction to my surprise, my body fit like a jet. She said, take the medicine twice a day, that is the dose I should get. I follow instruction to my surprise, my body fit like a jet. I say, when you're coming back, Sandra, when you're coming to give me medicine.
Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you better.
When you're coming back, Sandra, when you're coming to give me medicine.
Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you better.
She took.
I'm your doctor. I'm your doctor.
She took my head. She took my day. Oh Lord. She took my head. She took my head. I was feeling ill when I get the house from Dr. Cassandra. But she gave me pills, now my whole body feeling better than ever. She gave me one injection in my midsection, I didn't have to pay. Then she gave me something and tell me swallow fever gone right away. One injection in my midsection, I didn't have to pay. Then she gave me something and tell me swallow fever gone right away. So I say, when you're coming back, Sandra, when you're coming to give me medicine.
Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you better.
When you're coming back, Sandra, when you're coming to give me medicine.
Be quiet, boy, I'm your doctor. I come here to make you better. I'm your doctor. I'm your doctor.
love cricket and football. Come and dance in my name we call. Champion, champion, every trainee and every young man. Champion, champion, every BC and every Asian. Champion, champion, every trainee and every young man. Champion, champion, Beanie a champion, Bounty a champion, Marshall is a champion, Bungie is a champion, Folland is a champion, Lara is a champion, Gail is a champion. Don't forget Michael Jordan, Obama a champion, Mandela a champion, Serena a champion, Wendy a champion, Shelly and a champion, 958 Bolt a champion. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody knows it, Bravo a champion. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody know Chris Cale is a champion. But down here, just a chink in the armor is enough to lose a friend. Some of the old generals have retired and gone, and the runs don't come as they did before. But when the two says go, don't you know the desert is come? We've lost the battle, but yet we will win the war. Michael holding balls in the heat of the battle. Michael should have left long time. I heard an angry brother shout, Caribbean man, that is the root of our trouble. Oh, in these tiny theaters of conflict and confusion, better known as the Isles of the West Indies. We already know who brought us here and who created this confusion. So I'm begging my people, please. Oh, we got to rally around the West Indies, now and forever. Yeah. Rally around the West Indies, stoke up the fire, 'cause pretty soon the runs are gonna flow again like water, bringing so much joy to each and every son and daughter. Say we gonna rise and me to make sure that they fail. Soon we must take a sign or be lost in the rubble in a divided world that don't need islands no more. Are we doomed forever to be at somebody's mercy? Little keys can open up mighty doors. Rally, rally from the West Indies. No one forever, yeah. Rally, rally from the West Indies. Never say never.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just to let you know that we have some other officials who unfortunately are stuck in traffic and with the rain, and they've asked us just to give them another 10, 15 minutes when we will start. So we will start in about 10, 15 minutes time. Thank you very much. Please note that when the function starts, the bar will be closed. So it's a good idea to get in all your drinks when the bar is now open. When the function starts, the bar will be closed during the function.
Islands in the sun, islands in the fun. Welcome, welcome one and all to the land of death. Trini to the bone, Trini to the bone. When they come to Bacchanal, well, they can't beat me at Trini to the bone, Trini to the bone. Look, sweet woman parade abundantly. The brethren, they full of energy. Some people say God is a Trini. Paradise are not convincingly. God gave us a spirit fiery, but nothing in the world will bother we. But look at smart man gone with big money. We still come out and mash up the party. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of this country. Sweet, sweet TNT. No place in this world I'd rather be. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of my country. Sweet, sweet TNT. All this sugar can be good for me. Oh, from Coco to Caroni. Oh, Marabal to Sanssouci. Oh, from Scarborough to Cocorine. Oh, profiling on Frederick Street. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of this country. Sweet, sweet TNT. No place in this world I'd rather be. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of my country. Sweet, sweet TNT. All this sugar can be good for me. All these years I spent abroad in the cold, longing to be home. Trini to the bone, Trini to the bone. Lord, I pray that some sweet day I will no longer have to roam. Trini to the bone, Trini to the bone. The problems we have are plain to see. We prove we could stand this scrutiny. All I know that's true democracy. How we vote is not how we party. There's no place like home, some people say. Though some have to leave to make their way. But in your hands I know their destiny. So come home and pick up the country. Sweet, sweet TNT. Lord, how I love of this country. Sweet, sweet TNT. No place in this world I'd rather be. Sweet, sweet TNT. Lord, how I love of my country. Sweet, sweet TNT. All this sugar can be good for me. Oh, from Cuba to Signal Hill. Oh, Arima to Charlottesville. Oh, Matlock down to Port of Spain. Oh, yeah. We play in Marcel Lorraine. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of the country. Sweet, sweet TNT. No place in this world I'd rather be. might seem to be, we still fight to be a family. Indian, African, or a Chinese, Syrian, French, Creole, or Portuguese. We blessed with a spirit fiery. Some people say God is a Trinity. Sweet woman parade abundantly. Now the problem is plain to see. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of my country. Sweet, sweet TNT. There's no place on earth I'd rather be. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of my country. Sweet, sweet TNT. All this sugar can be good for me. Oh, Westmoreland to Luxy Road. From Sando to Mayaro, from Pina to Grand River, sweetness in abundance everywhere. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of my country. Sweet, sweet TNT. All this sugar can't be good for me. No, 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 no. Na 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 na. Sweet TNT.
Somewhere up in Laventine, many years ago, a man had a hammer, used to follow him to and fro. He used to use it to pong a pan, or sometimes a stupid man, all in the savannah, never miss panorama. One day the old hammer just disappeared. Oh, some say that it vanished into thin air. How with the man with the hammer gone? Tell me where he gone. Anybody know where the hammer gone? Tell me where he gone. Can you tell me what's going on? Tell me where he gone. I want to know where the hammer gone. Tell me where he gone. Why you up on me? Why you make me grieve? Hammer tell me that. Why you do with that? Oh Lord. Well the dragon don't walk the trail no more. Well the dragon don't walk the trail no more. From April of 85, Hammer went to sleep. After years of making noise, not even a peep. He used to move with the dragon man, all through the soca land. Always on the scene, they used to control the Baba Green. Well, the dragon don't walk the trail no more. Who holding the hammer, I want to know. How with the man with the hammer gone? Tell me where he gone. Thunderbolt Williams, what going on? Tell me where he gone. This thing like a police boots on the con. Tell me where he gone. I never heard by why the lima on pond. Tell me where he gone. Children, sit under your bed. All above your head. Look behind the door. What you waiting for? Oh Lord. Well, the dragon don't walk the trail no more. No more, no more. Well, the dragon don't walk the trail no more. On a silver chariot, riding to the sun, leaving fire in its way, spirits on the run. As we gather round that day, I hear Sister Sheila say, how last night she see a sign, she see the hammer and it doing fine. Same time thunder roll, she ball out, you see? He done start to tune up and already. How with the man with the hammer gone? Tell me where he gone. Sister Sheila, what going on? Tell me where he gone. This hammer giving we a heavy horn. Tell me where he gone. This thing like a police boots on me con. Tell me where he gone. Search out through the tongue. Turn it upside down. Check on top the hill. On the windowsill. Oh Lord, well the dragon don't walk the trail no more. Tell them. Well the dragon don't walk the trail no more. Tell them again. Well the dragon don't walk the trail no more. Boom it down the bambade. Well the dragon don't walk the trail no more. I say don't walk the trail. I say don't walk the trail. He don't walk the trail. He don't walk the trail no. Well the dragon don't walk the trail no more. Boom it the bambade. Well the dragon don't walk the trail no more. He don't walk the trail. He don't walk the trail.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Thank you. Thank you so much. Just want to remind you that the bar is going to be closed as of now because we're going to start the evening proceedings. Guest of honor, Brian Lara. The dynamic duo of Keith and Sally Miller, organizers of this fantastic event. Distinguished guests, former cricketers, I acknowledge some of you, Courtney Brown, Roland Butcher, Suleiman Ben, Dwayne Smith. I was going to call Richard Cox and Charlie Thornton, but those names are only known in intermediate circles. But ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant welcome to the Empire Cricket Club, where we're here today to not only champion one of the greatest cricketers and batsmen ever, but one of the greatest chronicles ever. The Lara Chronicles, the England Chronicles. I'm so happy to be here because I would have read this book before I started today as the MC, and I recognize one of the first things that 20 years ago, just shy of 20 years, Brian wrote in this book very eloquently about the Champions Trophy of 2004. And I'm so happy to see half of that Champions Trophy here in the presence of Courtney Brown. I don't see Ian Bradshaw, but Brian as captain back then would have been so proud and so happy to mention that and write a lot about it in this book because it was indeed one of the biggest things that West Indies cricket would have celebrated back in that era. We're going to have a fantastic evening. We're going to be hearing from Brian himself. We'll also be hearing from Roland Holder, and we expect that you will enjoy not only the evening, but you will leave here with a signed copy of the book and hopefully a picture you can cop from Brian because it's going to indeed be a good read. It's one of the best reads you'll have all summer, I guarantee you. I want to say to those who are watching at home, watching wherever, that if you're not here, because you know there's a lot of rain, this book is also being sold not only on Amazon, if you're watching in the UK or wherever else, you can get it on Amazon. But from Monday, right here in Barbados, it will be sold at all of the major bookstores on the island. So if you weren't able to make it tonight because of the rain, don't worry. This is the copy to put in everyone's Christmas sack this season, I can assure you. I want to thank you for coming too because, as you can see, you've braved the weather and you're here. And that is the most important thing. To get the evening started, we're going to ask Antoinette Arthur to give us a word of prayer. Antoinette?
Good evening. Thank you. If we could just stand where we are and bow our heads, please. I'm going to invite God's presence into this place. Heavenly Father, we come before you on this blessed evening, bringing before you the book launch of Brian Lara. Father, as we journey through this evening with Brian, we ask, dear God, that you bless all of us. Those persons who are on their way, dear God, through this traffic and this rain, I ask that you bring them safely. And at the end of these proceedings, dear God, I ask that you take us all back home safely. Father God, we invite your presence into this place. And we pray that we have an excellent evening this evening. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Antoinette. Our first speaker this evening, ladies and gentlemen, would have played a lot of cricket, especially at the regional level with Brian Lara. And back in the 90s, early 2000s, I guess you can say, The name Roland Holder was a household name in Barbados' cricket, and it's significant that we are at the home of where Roland would have played the majority of his local cricket, the Empire Cricket Club. Back in the day, Brian Lara himself, as a young man coming from Trinidad and Tobago to play in the Sigarfi Sobers cricket tournament, it would have been perhaps a dream come true for him to be here at Empire playing cricket as a youngster for Fatima. Later on, of course, he went on to make the biggest name for himself at Kensington Oval and all the other grounds around the world. The book, of course, The England Chronicles, especially looks at those fantastic encounters that Brian Lara would have had in England. But the people of Barbados have been asking for this particular book to be released here, and that's why we're here today. We're happy to have Roland Holder, not an opening batsman, but a very reliable middle order batsman to get the opening proceedings off to a good start. Let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Roland Holder.
Hi, good night all, Master of Ceremonies, Brian, committee members, Empire Club, invited guests. Let me begin by apologizing for the hoarseness of my voice, as I've picked up a cold, but the opportunity to bat before Brian was too great to pass up. So, Brian's book, it speaks about him being a thrill seeker, record holder, genius. These three words are on the back of his cover. I can testify that they are all true, as he's a thrill seeker, a record holder, and most certainly a genius. So, Brian the thrill seeker, well, I see the team manager here, so I need to be careful how I word this. So, Kingdom, I'm sorry, it's now coming out quite a few years later. So, Brian, Jimmy, Naramiah, Perry, Ridley Jacobs, all of us went to the inaugural Youth World Cup 1988 in Australia, and Brian was captain. Incidentally, we were roommates on that tour, so we didn't see a lot of each other, apparently. So we spent 2 nights in London in transit to Australia, and Brian, of course, ensured that none of us spent a night in the hotel on those 2 nights. So that is the thrill-seeking Brian. I probably believe he's been to every possible carnival that you can think of, and most certainly every nightclub in the world. But what I can tell you is that he's at his best when he gets challenged. When the going gets tough, he gets going. In fact, on Wednesday during the game, I went to collect a book from him, and I was told, well, he's not here now, pass back. So I did that a couple of times, and each time he wasn't there. So then it dawned on me, hold on. Brian is in the party stand. Why am I coming here? Because that's exactly where he was. So, Brian, the record holder, as you all know, he's dazzled the world with his genius, breaking records along the way. Every team felt his genius, but none more so than England, against whom he broke Sir Gary's record. He lost it briefly, as we all know, but he decided he'd come back and get it, and that is exactly what he did. And in doing so, he became the only batter to register a score of 400 runs in a test match. You know, I remember Brian in 1994 when he broke Sir Gary's record towards the end of the year, casually mentioning to me that he had put all his match fees in what was then the Provident Fund, which is the players' retirement fund. Now, it's his earnings, so I certainly couldn't take my salary and put it anywhere at that point in time. So he saw the look on my face, and he simply said to him, oh yeah, 1994 was a good name, was a good year. So yeah, silly me. After he broke Sir Gary's record, he then went to England and scored the highest ever first-class score of 501. Of course it was a good year. That was a year when Brian did everything possible. Brian the genius. I first encountered Brian in 1986 at a regional under-19 game, Trinidad and Tobago versus Barbados in Trinidad. Ironically, it's the same game in which I encountered Ian Bishop, who has always tried to knock my head off. He strode out to bat, and the Brian you see now is twice the size that Brian was back in 1986. So you might picture this Brian coming out to bat. The pads are up to his neck. The bat looks like something massive in his hand, but he quickly dispelled any thought that you had that he couldn't play. And from that time, he impressed to his very last international match in 2007. Now, I've toured with Brian, I've roomed with Brian, and I can now admit that whenever he was batting, I would be glued to the seat watching his genius. I once secretly, when he wasn't looking, checked his bats for the hidden radar that allowed him to pierce every field at will. Needless to say, I didn't find it. Some of my fondest memories of his innings in games that I played include his 153 versus Pakistan in Sharjah. That was in 1993. We were playing a Sharjah Cup final, and Pakistan batted first and reached 284 for 4, which over 30 odd years ago was a massive total. Pakistan literally was celebrating, laughing at the innings break. They obviously had thoughts in their mind of the prize money. Then came the genius of B.C. Lara, starting with 2 back foot drives off Waqar Younis in the very first over, and the West Indies won the game by 6 wickets with 10 overs to spare. Another of my fondest memories is Brian speaks about the book of us losing the World Cup semi-final at Chandigarh. But what I remember was the innings that got us to that semi-final in that 1996 World Cup quarter-final against South Africa, when he scored 111 in 94 balls. Every time Pat Simcox bowled, Brian cut him later and later. South Africa got so frustrated they put 2 short third men. But that radar that I spoke about was in full flight. And Brian pierced every possible gap they've tried to block. The thing is, there are so many great innings that Brian has played, and I've seen a lot of them, that to continue means we'll be here all night just reminiscing about his great innings. Now, I have 2 things I need to say to Brian. One is to finally thank him for inadvertently extending my playing days for the West Indies. In 1995, Brian withdrew from the one-day tour to Australia, and I was named as the poor replacement for him. Not that anyone could ever replace Brian. That act and my performance on that tour allowed me to play another 4 years in international cricket, including going to that World Cup where Brian was so masterful. The other, which I'm sure he doesn't remember, is to admit to him that I knew about a pair of shoes he bought in St. Lucia. The story is that we both attended a meeting with the board, and we weren't in trouble. It was a Players Association meeting. The meeting went well, so Brian goes into the Rodney Bay Ball and comes across a store selling Clark's shoes. Now, you know Brian is a fancy dresser, and you can just look at him here tonight to know that's the truth. So he buys a pair, and the next day we travel to Barbados. As we land in Barbados, the shoe sole comes off. So picture Brian hobbling through the airport here. He sees an immigration officer, and without batting an eyelid says, "My shoes got damaged and I had to borrow this pair from Roland. Look what has happened to them." So, but the truth is, Brian, that when you went into that store, I knew the store had a reputation for selling shoes that had dry rot, but I just wanted to see how long they would last. So it is only fitting that in this illustrious place, where so many greats like Herman Griffith, our founder, Sir Frank Worrell, Sir Everton Weekes, Seymour Nurse, and Sir Charles Griffith have thrilled crowds, that from the club's inception on May 24th, 1914, that Brian has chosen Empire Club to launch his book. The club is rich in history, steeped in tradition, and above all, has always been home to the community and the masses. This is what brought me here to join this club more than 36 years ago. About the book, Brian on his first tour to England with the West Indies team makes mention in the book about knowing when you were playing or not, based on how you were treated in the nets to lead up in the game. He spoke about his frustrations. And I think I can identify with that because lots of times on tour, you weren't playing, you weren't really given the opportunity to bat, and you never had the serious bowlers bowl at you. So Brian and his frustration, I understood that part clearly in your article. This occasion is perhaps the only time I will get a knock before the genius of a man called Brian Charles Lara. So it gives me great pleasure, pride, and joy to welcome BC Lara to the club once again and to welcome each and every one of you to this his book launch entitled Lara, The England Chronicles. Since he has generously autographed my book, this is the book I went to collect on Wednesday when he was missing, I am sure he will autograph yours now that he's here in living color and can't go to the party stand. So please, take the opportunity to get your book autographed and to enjoy the wonderful stories of Brian Lara. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roland Holder. Well, as Roland alluded to just now, there must be something special about the number 4 where Brian Lara is concerned because he scored 400 in 2004. He broke the record prior in 1994. And now in 2024, he's here with his book, The England Chronicles. So Brian Lara obviously has something very special about the number 4. Born May 2nd, 1969, the Trinidad former international captain and cricketer, widely acknowledged as one of the greatest batsmen of all time. Broke that record, as we said, in 1994. He did it again in 2004. And prior to that, 500 and not out for Warwickshire against Durham in Edgbaston in the same year, 1994. One of the salient facts about those innings is that if it didn't happen against England, it happened in England. And that is why this book is so treasured, because the England Chronicles is where you learn and heard a lot about the name Brian Lara because he's done so well there and against that team. Brian Charles Lara, ladies and gentlemen, held for 18 years that record of the highest number of runs in a single over of a test match, when he scored 28 runs off an over by Robin Peterson of South Africa in 2003. That record was overtaken by Jasper Bruma in 2022. As captain, Lara led the West Indies team to the win in the 2004 ICC Champions Trophy, the first time the team won any major ICC trophy since winning the World Cup back in 1979. And if you remember what you were doing that day in 2004, it was indeed one of the most joyous occasions for West Indies cricket, because West Indies at that stage are going through a period where they might not have been winning matches consistently, but there were some fantastic individual performances. And that series in 2004, when Courtney Brown, Brian Lara, and of course Ian Bradshaw and the rest of the team brought so much joy back to the fans and faces of West Indies cricket. It was no mean feat that I remember when the team came back from England, Brian Lara allowed none other than Darren Sammy, who was in the squad in the team, to hold that trophy, because Brian said he felt like if Darren Sammy was the person that would have then followed on and taken West Indies cricket in 2004. And mind you, he was right. Darren, of course, is now not only a cricketer who's won 2 World Cups for the West Indies, but he also went on, of course, now to be the manager of the West Indies team. So that says to you and gives you the foresight that Brian Lara had for young cricketers at that particular stage that he would have indeed mentored. Having played his last game in international cricket, would have been the 2007 World Cup. It happened to be against England. And the stories against England and in England just go on and on and on. I assure you, they're all in this book. It is, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that I welcome to the stage one of the finest batsmen the world has ever seen, certainly the best from Trinidad and Tobago, and possibly the best from the West Indies, to speak about the England Chronicles. Let's give a rousing welcome to Brian Charles Lara.
First of all, I want to say good evening to the President. Just arrived. I know it's been a struggle to get here with the traffic and, of course, the rain. Mr. Melville Oxley, President of the Empire Cricket Club. Looking around, there are also some very distinguished guests, and I want to say very welcome to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, as well. I am a little bit nervous because Roland Holder seemed like he wanted to bat a little bit longer than I could bat. Because my intention wasn't to stay here very long, but somehow I'll have to manufacture a speech to make sure that I take away the man of the match. But Roland, I want to say a very, very big thank you for all the kind words that you've said. And pretty much to let you guys know that I'm very, very humbled to be in this club, the Empire Cricket Club. This is a club of champions, and it's a place where some of the greatest names in cricket, not just Barbados cricket, in cricket came from. You have, of course, the great late Sir Frank Worrell, who lived just across the wall on the far side. You've got Seymour Nurse, all the late guys. You've got Sir Charles Griffith. You got Roland Holder himself. Excuse me? Yeah, I know, if you can look behind you, but if you give me the opportunity to try to see if my knowledge of Empire cricket is there, it'd be nice. Ryan Hines, Patterson Thompson, a lot of great names have come out of this club. Now, I have a very special friend, and I just maybe like to look at my phone and let you know what he said. He said, Empire Cricket Club taught me a lot, but more so about friendship and leadership. And he feels very proud that I've chosen the Empire Cricket Club to launch my book. Now, this person is none other than M. Adrian King, KC. He was a former second 11 captain and also president of this club. Now, the first time I walked through the gates, maybe it's not the first time, I stand to be corrected, but maybe the one that gave me the most joy was back in 1987 or 88. 88, I think it is, where we were playing in the West Indies Youth Tournament, and Trinidad and Tobago had a match against Jamaica. And I walked in, and I walked back out with 196 as a 17, 18-year-old. Now, if you look around the ground, I think it's a ground where the boundaries are 2s and 4s. If you hit it out to the ground, it's if you hit it out of the ground, what's normally a 6, it's a 4. And if you hit it along the park, it might be a 2. Is that correct? 3. A 3. Right, yeah, I got an extra run. Thank you very much. But those are early memories that I will always cherish here at Empire. Another important factor is that the names that I've called, and I left out a couple names on purpose. First of all, Tony King, who is here with us this evening. Now, Tony King, my first encounter with Tony King would have been the World Cup 1988 that myself and Roland went to, under 19 World Cup in Australia. Roland was actually my roommate. It's the first time that I saw grapes on a tree. We were outside 1, 2 o'clock in the morning picking our host grapes. Roland, you remember those days? And Tony King was our manager, and an exceptional manager. And I understood that he was also an amazing cricketer, an amazing batter, someone in the mold of a Carl Hooper or even a Lawrence Rowe. But I know his words, his eloquent way of putting across words was very, very special. So I do believe, Tony, wherever you are, that you're someone that, batted in such a way that had a lot of style. I don't know why that you didn't make a test match, but I'm here to say that I do appreciate all that you have done for me. Another outstanding Empire cricketer who's done a lot for me is Carlisle Best. I remember being a young man coming to Barbados during the Sir Garfield Sobers tournament and even youth cricket. And I'll find myself down in Deacon's Farm. And down in that stretch of road in Deacon's Farm was the house where Carlisle Best lived. And he was an outstanding Barbados cricketer at the time, not yet on the West Indies cricket team, but someone who had the potential and who they were looking at. And Carlisle Best looked at me and looked after me like if I was a younger brother. He showed me the ropes. He brought me here at Empire. I watched him play cricket. I played on the pasture whenever there was a break. So I want to say a very, very big thank you to Carlisle Best for, what he has done for my career and someone who's coming from Empire. This book is called The England Chronicles, and you'd believe that, obviously in the book there's a lot of talk about my matches against England, or maybe playing for Warwickshire. I think that you are going to actually read about it, so I don't want to talk too much about that. I literally want to talk to the fact that you guys are here, right, strictly through the respect and love that you have for me, and how much I appreciate that. In my book, there's a lot of comments about playing against Barbados or playing with Barbadians. And I'll give you a very, very nice story. My second first-class game, my first was in Trinidad, but it was South Trinidad at Guacara Park against the Leeward Islands, Curtly Ambrose and company. Vivian Richards did not play that match. But my second game was in Port of Spain at the Queen's Park Oval. Of course, a very prominent and well-known cricket ground around the world. And we were playing against Barbados. And back in the day, we would play a one-day game on Wednesday, and we'd start the four-day game on Friday. And there I was as a teenager, still at school, and I walked out to bat when Malcolm Marshall, the late Malcolm Marshall, took a wicket. I am barely 17, 18 years old, and I'm walking out to bat. Malcolm Marshall is at his mark, and next to Malcolm Marshall is the captain, Joel Garner. And as you know, Joel Garner, he's about 7 foot tall. And there I was, about 5'5", walking past these two giants, and I would lie if I say I was not nervous. I was very, very nervous. And I walked to my crease, took my mark, and I saw Malcolm Marshall, the great West Indian fast bowler, at the top of his mark, ready to steam in. And all I could tell myself was, look at the ball, look at the ball, look at the ball. And I looked at the ball. It was a fast ball, bounced about hip high, and I tried to turn it around the corner. I got an edge, and Telston Payne, the late Telston Payne, took a one-handed catch. Now here I am, the Queen's Park Oval. Everyone came to see me bat against Barbados, and I have to walk back to Pavilion, dejected, scoring 0. That was not where the problem was. The problem was I had to go to school the next day. And at the gate was all my friends waiting for me to arrive at school. So even though I had a game the next day on Friday, I had to turn up to school, and I was chastised. And I look at my classmates and I wonder what would they have done if the fastest bowler in the world, one of the greatest fast bowlers, was coming out to them. I'm not sure. I actually think that their trousers might have been soiled. But I got out the next day on Friday, and I played that 4-day game against Barbados, against the same attack. And I was not a very big guy. I was still very small, not great muscles. And I remembered hanging in there for something like about 6 hours plus. And when I got to about 92, an umpire, Trinidad umpire, gave me out LBW to Joel Garner. I know that wouldn't happen to Roland Holder in Barbados. But it happened to me in Trinidad. And everybody asked me the question, when did I feel that I was good enough to make it? And I felt that was the match. As an 18-year-old playing against Barbados, against the likes of Malcolm Marshall, Joel Garner, Henderson Springer, and quite a few players. I'm not sure if you made that grade yet, Roland, but it was the time when I felt that I was literally good enough to really get to the top if I was to face these guys and score runs. Now, moving on. I'd like to switch a little bit away from Barbados and talk about someone that Bajans love. And someone, if you've had a little bit of a sneak preview about my book, that was a little bit upset with a few things that I wrote. But I think that Sir Carl, as the Bajans call him, didn't read my book in its entirety. And I don't need to look at my book to tell you how revered Carl Hooper was and how I mention him in my book. In my book, I said, Carl Hooper is one of the most stylish cricketers you would ever see. And I remembered being on the West Indies cricket team. And I remember Sir Gordon Greenidge, Sir Desmond Haynes, Sir Vivian Richards, everybody leaving, doing what they were doing to see this young man bat. I also mentioned in my book, and I want you to know that I lost about, I know this crew is not a social media crew, but sometimes you just have to deal with it. I lost about 100,000 followers when I said I think Carl Hooper had more talent than Sachin Tendulkar and myself. And I would stick to that because that young man or that player at the time was definitely someone that everybody looked up to. Moving on. Champions Trophy 2004. And Roland Holder alluded to it. But let me give you a little bit of insight is that we were a team in disarray. Yes, I scored 400 in 2004, but it came on the back of 3 test matches we lost against England in the Caribbean, and Antigua was the last test match, and I was able to muster up a score that eventually saved us the test match, saved us the embarrassment of losing 4 test matches against England. Actually, I felt that we could have won that test match if I took a catch off Flintoff when Sarwan was bowling. I dropped it at slip. We went to England immediately after, and in the 4 test matches in England, we lost every single one. So in 8 test matches in a matter of 5 months, we lost 7. And I could feel in the team that everybody just wanted to go home. Nobody wanted to stick around to do anything. I knew for a fact that I was actually, as captain, losing, the whole team at that point in time. I asked for a few changes when we selected the 13 or 14 players for that Champions Trophy. And Courtney confirmed about his state of mind at the time, because when I was doing this book, I called Courtney and I called Ian Bradshaw to see if we can do a little bit of interview to get different perspectives on the book. I called Courtney, and I think he was somewhere in Harbour Lights or something like that, and I said to him, listen, I am picking you for this Champions Trophy. I need you to come here. Now, Courtney Brown became a very good friend since then and still is. But Courtney Brown was one of the most successful Barbados captain and someone who I admire the way he went about doing his job, even though I might have been 5, 6, 7, 8 years older and, of course, a lot more experience in playing West Indies cricket. But I felt that his leadership is something that I needed at that point in time. And Courtney came across to England. Bradshaw might have been there. He was playing a little bit of one-day cricket. But I'd fast forward again and I'd take you right to the finals that, we never thought that we were going to be in. Playing against England at the Oval. And England posted a total, not a big total, but in conditions in England where it was always going to be testing. And they had 7 or 8 wickets of us back in the pavilion. And Courtney joined Bradshaw, the other way around. Bradshaw joined Courtney. And together we had 2 very experienced Barbados cricketers at the crease. And they started to move into that 60-something runs left. There was one Bajan left to bat, and that one is not as bad as Courtney Walsh, but he is not far from, and that was Collymore. And Courtney, one very important moment in that partnership, I remembered, and I was not asked for any advice. The umpires offered light to the 2 batters out in the middle. And I was thinking inside that they're going to take light, and they didn't. They continued in the darkness. It was getting very dark. And West Indies, Courtney and Ian went on to win this match for us. It was maybe one of the most, it's definitely the highlight of my career as captain of the West Indies. And Courtney, as a leader, said to me, I was never going to take that light, Brian. Why? Because their backs were against the wall. And if they came back the next day, they would be fresh with fresh ideas, and you never know what could happen. And he felt, as a leader out there in the middle, that this is the best decision for us. And it turned out to be the best decision. There's other factors that played out. No need to mention it. Have I passed Roland Holder yet? I don't know. But 3 years later, someone called for a single. I responded. And then I was sent back. And I learned in school cricket that if the ball is behind you, you respond to the striker. And my career came to an end. My career came to an end, how ironic, in Barbados, in a place that I believe have the most knowledgeable cricket fans in the world. Many a times I would sit in the old Kensington Players' Room and I would hear on the streets or maybe on the field the comparison between Carl Hooper and myself. And it generally went like this. Don't matter what Brian Lara do, he can't bat like Carl Hooper. I can tell you that. He can do whatever he wants, but he can't bat like that man. That man is the best thing I ever see. Well, I agree. To a point. But I'm not here to talk about the things I said on that day that was my last day in Barbados if I entertained. Because I think I got a resounding answer then, since then, and even before. What I'm here to say is that how honored I am to be here in Barbados, launching my book, Lara, the England Chronicles, and for you showing the appreciation that you've shown tonight by coming out in this sort of weather. And I came here with a friend of mine called Ralph Taylor. And he said to me that tomorrow morning, you guys will be playing cricket on a wet pitch. If there was cricket to be played, because that's what happened back in the day. Well, I couldn't bat on a wet pitch. I batted on beautiful pitches in Barbados, some of the best. And this is England Chronicles, and I know when that Australian version comes out, and my 153 is talked about. And my experience in Barbados, I know that I'm going to be having this same event here whenever it comes out. I want to say a big thank you to Sally, distributing the books in Barbados. As she said, and everyone said, it's going to be available. Sally and her husband, who invited me to dinner recently. Also, guys, here is Matt Thacker, who is the publisher of the book, made his way out from England to come out to have this moment with us. Now, before I close, I would do all the signing. I didn't because of the weather, but I would like to have Ian Bradshaw and Courtney Brown come out and collect their book because they played a very important part in my career. Please do. I would just like to have Ian Bradshaw tell us about that square drive, the last shot to win that ICC Champions Trophy.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Let me thank Brian for at last giving me the strike. I always asked him when we were playing just to hang around long enough at the crease so I could bat within once. But the problem is that whenever he got in, he knocked off all the runs before the batter could get to me. So thank you, Brian. As Brian said, that game was a magical game for all of us. And it really was a culmination of a lot of hard work and a lot of luck, to be honest with you, because things just fell into place. And sometimes you need luck to be successful. As it came and the game unfolded, the luck went away and the hard work that had been put in started to make sense. So it was just a matter of me being the fortunate one to play the shot. But it really was, the commitment of a team to come out there and do something great for West Indies people. So I thank you all for coming out, and I thank Brian for doing all he's done for West Indies cricket. And a book like this really is a treasure for West Indian people, and just a nugget that I would hope that can be passed on to future generations so that talent such as his can continue to be nourished. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, guys. I also want to recognize Suleiman Band and Dwayne Smith, guys who I actually interact with a lot because we do play a little bit of Legends cricket. I would like the President, Soxley, come up. And before I go, I just, very casually want to say thank you for coming. to Ansari, to Teddy, to Jordan, to Barry, to Elvis. I don't need to call their last name because they're not all about that. To Ralphie, to JP. Thank you very much for coming to support me. And I see here, right here at Empire, I don't know if you guys are members, but I do see maybe you're Bajans, maybe you're not, but I want to say thank you to every single person in the crowd for turning up again in this, this sort of weather. Thank you, Empire. I appreciate everything you've done for me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian Charles Lara. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite Mr. Keith Miller to give the vote of thanks. I want to publicly thank Keith, and also before, I know he's not going to thank himself, so I'll thank him, Keith and his wonderful wife, who have done a tremendous job with all the weather that we've had to get so many people inside of the Empire Club. The weather would have perhaps spoiled some of the parade that we had for outside. But I want to thank Keith and his wife Sally for getting us here tonight and this tremendous event. So let's give them a hand before Keith comes to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Barry. Now, when you see a batting order, that goes Roland Holder, Brian Lara, Keith Miller, you have to know the quality of play goes down from now on in. Unfortunately, I'm not the Keith Miller of the 1950s, the Australian cricketer who was one of the best all-rounders in his time. I'm this Keith Miller. I apologize. The good news is I'll spend less time at the crease and we can all begin to enjoy the evening. Protocol having already been established, I'll just begin by saying welcome to specially invited guests, one and all. Everybody here tonight is special, whether you're a cricket legend or somebody who helps at the club behind the scenes. Everybody are important people in this room right now. How lucky are we? How lucky are we? How fortunate and blessed we are to be here this evening to participate in what is a very special occasion. Here we are at Empire, the Empire Club, which is one of the most iconic cricket clubs, not only in Barbados, but also the wider Caribbean and even further afield. And why are we here? We're here for the launch of a new book by Brian Charles Lara, one of the greatest batsmen the world has ever seen. And we are blessed because the man himself is here with us. All in all, that adds up to a very rare privilege. A privilege of a kind that very, very few people will ever experience in their life. So we here, right now, are part of that small, very lucky few. Acknowledge that to yourselves, but before you go home. So Brian, I wish I could pull the mic out and look at you while we're talking, but to begin with, on behalf, you've mentioned him already, but Matt Thacker of Fairfield Books, on behalf of Sally, myself, and our whole team at Miller Publishing Company, on behalf of Empire Club, and on behalf of all of our guests, we have to say a massive, massive thank you to you for making the effort to come to Barbados and participate in person. And we also would like to thank you for the many wonderful memories you were given with the majestic performance with the bat. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please show our appreciation for Brian Lara. Thank you. It's an honor for us, all of us involved, to be able to stage this book launch at Empire, a club with a rich history, a club that has produced a long, long list of outstanding cricketers, both for Barbados and the West Indies. Too many to mention right here now, so I will not take the exam and see how many I can remember. We thank every single person at the Empire Club who has helped to deliver this important event. It's unfortunately not feasible to read out every single name of the list, which is a veritable army of volunteers working behind the scenes. So all just recognize anybody who's helped, that you are appreciated, but we will make special mention of Melvin Ibo Oxley, the president, Antoinette MacArthur, secretary, Jennifer Grant, assistant secretary, and Linda Morn of DB Productions. Thanks to all of you, including all the unsung heroes, who've also played a very significant role, and in general, thank you, Empire Cricket Club. I got the Empire Club right the first 5 times. I just slipped up then. The Empire Club, not the Empire Cricket Club. And I guess that's a good mistake to make, because the point is, Empire is not just a cricket club, it's a club, it's a community. It's a people's location with a life of its own. It's also a club, I'm ad-libbing now, so forgive me, but it's also a club where the cricketers have gone to, steal from the words of C.L.R. James, have gone beyond the boundary. And it's a great bastion of social development in Barbados. And everybody involved with this club should be proud of that history. Thank you, Roland, for your welcome address, which was very entertaining. Thank you, Barry, for keeping the schedule flowing. And also for facilitating the live streaming that has taken place via Trident TV, which has been sponsored by ICB. And on that note, a special thank you to all of the members of the media who are here this evening. We truly appreciate the value of your coverage and the PR potential that you have to promote Brian's new book and so on. So we really appreciate your presence here. Thank you very much indeed for that. And then last, but definitely not least, I'd like to thank all of you, everybody who's attended tonight, because the fact is, without you, there's no event. So thank you for making the effort. I know lots of people have come from far afield, and that is hugely appreciated. And then if I'm allowed to, just before I go, I'm going to sneak in a little mention of my wife, Sally, who, reason being, she's put in a huge amount of effort into getting this event off the ground. But what you all might not know is that today is her birthday. So what you all have achieved is given her the most magnificent present she could possibly have ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the bar is open, before we climax this part of the proceedings, I'm just going to ask the president of the Empire Club, Mr. Oxley, who will give us a very brief word. Let's welcome the president of this wonderful and illustrious club, Mr. Ibo Oxley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I guess all protocols have been met, right? No? Yeah, we did. We're going through that. But thank you all for being here. Every time I enter Sir Frank World Gates, I kind of ask myself if I'm really head of this great establishment. It is such a pleasure to have so much grace that came before me. And I'm trying to keep that going. Brother Laura, as always, you know, there's much love at Empire for you. And from the time Sally called and said that is your intention, we made sure that no stone was left unturned. I want to reach out to you all, let you all know why the Vice President is not here. He's not feeling too well, and that's Pat Cheltenham. We want to give him all the best blessings as he fights this illness that he has. We also want to apologize for Sir Charles Griffith. And you know how Charlie is already. So the travel with the rain kind of affect that part of Charlie being here. But he wish he could be here. Brian, we have a few things for you before we let you get out of here. Well, I'll let the elite captain, Cheyenne, come. This wall that is behind me is a wall of greats. And at Empire Club, we always reward greatness. And for you, Master Lara, we will enshrine you to be placed on the wall of history of the greats of Empire Club. So we would ask Cheyenne to let everyone that. Yes. Yeah. Hey. All right, thank you. Excuse me. Excuse me. Where you running going? What are we doing, Pa? We doing, Pa? That is part of the family. That is part of the history. But we want that when you leave here, you take something of value with you from all the members of Empire Club, all the supporters, and especially our community. Most of every one that have done greatness has always got. So we want to keep the rain and sun off of you. And we also want that when you go, you represent Empire Club. So we thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, all right, I know it's been a long evening for some, and those of you that travel from overseas to grace us with your presence here, we do appreciate you very much. I wouldn't like this to be your last go-around, though. There's a lot of history within this club. There's one gentleman in particular, Robert Tweedy Clark. He's the resident historian of the club. He likes to hide when there are events. But if you can get him in a little corner, you can have a little chat with him, and he can give you a history, a real history of the club. Brother Tony King, I didn't get to show you earlier, but we have spoken at length. And I thank you Sir Charles, Sir Branca, and all the others that came before us, make this place a place of value to most in the community. I want to thank Master Herman Griffith for having the insight and the vision to know that we as a people needed a club of our own. And as long as there's breath in my body and I'm allowed to continue to serve, I want to make sure that the club, as it is 110 years now, there's a blueprint that is left that can go beyond another 110. There are many to thank that has came before, but the present day members of the club, I'm asking that they be touched with the pure history of the club alone. If that doesn't drive you for greatness, then your vision is clogged. The club will make some changes come next year, and I'm hoping that you all can come back and we can show you what improvements have been done. I thank you all for being here. Thank you all. Thank you, Master Lara, for choosing us. Thank you, Brother Holder. As always, we will continue to talk. Cheyenne, you're leading the come here, man. I don't think everybody has. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have an elite team, and this is our captain, Cheyenne Braffett. He's being a little shy, but he's also a Barbados player too, so the caps are coming. Master, thanks to you. All right, Master. Thanks, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, Brian is just going to make one more presentation. Brian?
Just something I thought about while sitting down there, and I think I forgot, and I think it's very important. Just to know, I don't know if anyone's following what's happening in terms of sales for the book or distribution for the book, a better word, in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I believe it's a travesty if we don't get this book into the hands of young Barbadians, into the hands of the school kids. And if you know, or if you are part of any major corporation that wants to donate books to schools, amazing. If you want to donate books to your alma mater, even better. I want to take this opportunity to let you guys know that one of the first times I came to Barbados, it was with Harvard Coaching Clinic, and I must have been like about 14, and we stayed at Leslie College. Leslie. All right. I've been drinking Coca-Cola, so sugar levels high. Okay, so what I really want to say is that I am donating books to that school when I leave here. And hopefully, Corporate Barbados could join. Okay, it's one of the places that I had my little sleeping bag when we were kids, and I met, for the first time, I met Sherwin Campbell, I met Elvis Medford, and I met also, what's the big guy named Elvis? Philo Wallace, and a very good fast bowler by the name of Greaves. Is that correct? No, the swing bowler with curly hair. Hendy Brooms. Hendy Brooms, sorry. So, LSE College, what's it? LSE School. They're going to have my book. Teddy, I expect to see you in my office. Take care.
So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I want to remind you that Brian will be signing books right here. So if you've purchased your copy and you want to get Brian to sign a book, you can just assemble up front. And for those who are watching, if you are not, of course, here at the Empire Club tonight, I want to remind you that tomorrow and Sunday, Brian Lara will be signing books at Kensington Oval tomorrow and Sunday. So if you want to get your copy and you're at the Oval tomorrow and Sunday, Brian will be also signing books. And for those who are watching who are overseas, this book is available on Amazon. So you can feel free to purchase your copy on Amazon and at any bookstore in Barbados. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. You can please assemble here. Thank you for a very good evening. Have a great evening and get home safely. Bye-bye. God bless.